on this episode of Lords of War.
This rifle here is old enough to have been in World War I.
This has got intimidation written all over it.
One of the things I really like about this particular piece is the detail. You see the little serpent's face right here?
My God.
For Sean Rich, antique weapons are more than a passion, they're his business. Sean's team of experts travel the country, auctioning off masterpieces of military history. In every town, they decide what's worthless steel.
These are a dime a dozen.
And what could be pure gold.
This week, we're just outside of Houston, Texas in Pearland. This is one of America's fastest growing cities, and we're expecting to find some great military collectibles. What'd you bring me?
I brought this blunderbuss to you saying, tell me a little bit about it.
This is really cool.
I bought that gun in St. Louis, Missouri 6 years ago in a big auction, and you know what? I found love with it.
Well, I mean, look at it. It's frickin' bitchin'.
I need to sell this old blunderbuss because I'm getting ready to start a company and I'm needing cash and I just need to sell it.
What makes this so cool, most blunderbuss pistols are this big.
Yeah, it's a lot larger.
Yes, this has got intimidation written all over it. And because of the size, close quarter combat, ship-to-ship fighting, blunderbuss, that was the thing to have because of the big belled mouth.
Right.
They could load them easier, and they were designed to shoot just about anything. Glass, rocks, nails. You could just point this in the general direction, and because of all that spray going out, chances are you're going to actually hit something. A brass barrel blunderbuss in this condition is extremely rare, and if it's real, could draw a huge audience at the auction. Typical English-made guns, especially the higher quality, they wanted to sign their work. This lock is completely unmarked, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Very typical of the American manufacture during wartime. This is American.
No way.
This very easily could date to the American Revolution. If you were caught creating firearms for the rebellion by the British government, you were hung. So anybody who was making guns would not personalize it or put their maker's mark on it so they wouldn't be captured. A gunsmith back in the day may have risked his life to make this particular gun. And 200 years later, I'm holding this thing in my hands right now. It gives me chills just thinking about it. So how much did you pay for it?
I was afraid you were going to ask me a question. I paid $5,000 for it.
Conservatively, if it fires, I really think that this could reach as much as $10,000.
$10,000? That's awesome.
So what do you say? Do you want to put it in the auction?
It's all yours.
So thanks for bringing it in. I love weapons from the American Revolution. So many things were thrown away, but they saved the weapons. Guns like these are one of the few connections we have left to that period in colonial history. And if this thing fires, it could bring a ton of money at the auction.
Hey, what's going on today? What do you got in there?
I bought a rather unique knife a couple of years ago.
Where did you come across this thing?
I bought this at the New York Knife Show.
Holy crap.
The blade looked rather unique to me, the handle and the guard. I brought my Bowie knife over today to see if I could get it into the auction.
What you have here is a representation of a Confederate spear point D-guard buoy. The main thing that makes this knife a Bowie knife is this large, wide spear point. You know the story of Jim Bowie. Resin Bowie was Jim Bowie's brother.
Oh, okay.
Jim became famous for the knife because I think he's the one that used it. But I really believe that the Bowie knife was Resin Bowie's brainchild. Even though Resin Bowie was the one that designed the Bowie knife, it was his brother Jim that made it famous. In a brawl known as the sandbar fight, Jim was shot, stabbed, and had a pistol broke over his head. And he still got up off the ground and whooped everybody, using a knife that his brother designed. When the newspapers got a hold of this story and the word spread, not only did Jim Bowie become famous, but that Bowie knife became famous too. One of the things I really like about this particular piece is the detail. On the back of the blade, he has spears all the way back around to the pommel. See, he has not left any part that has not been detailed. And because of this detail, it takes the whole knife and makes it a package. And you know what? You see this right here? I know this guy.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, see the name there is Schwarzer. Stephen is one of the foremost knife makers in the country. His steel techniques are just beyond reproach.
Wow.
How much did you have to fork up for this thing?
Well, I thought it was a lot at the time. I paid $3,800 for it.
Well, to own a knife by one of the preeminent knife makers in the world is an honor. And I'd say I could probably get $5,000 out of it.
Be very happy. Be very
Would
happy.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would. It would tickle me to death if I could put it in an auction. This is a beautiful blade designed by a real American master. It's the kind of collectible that our buyers are going to eat up.
I'm about to test fire this blunderbuss pistol that could have been a part of our American Revolution. If this thing fires, I can easily see it bringing at least $10,000 at auction. You know, every time I look at this screams something that was on the high seas. Because you have a brass barrel, brass furniture, everything that is saltwater resistant. But what made them so versatile is that you didn't have to just fire small lead shot. What if you ran out of this, you could just pick up a bunch of crap and put it in there. If you had a bunch of stuff in here, now you could kind of haphazardly just point in the general direction and pull the trigger. And that's what we're going to demonstrate here today. So downrange, I've set up this target where you can see hundreds of eggs. This way, we're going to be able to see the actual spread pattern. You ready to load it?
I'm ready, let's go.
Okay. So we're going to use 3F black powder. That goes in. This wad goes in to hold the powder. So that gets rammed down. Now, we're going to use the equal amount of number 8 shot. Now we're ready to go destroy some eggs.
I'm so excited.
Ready?
Let's go.
This thing is basically like a handheld shotgun. And if it works like it should, we're going to be making a lot of omelets.
Oh my God.
That is great.
That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. It was so cool. I mean, you saw these eggs exploding everywhere. I mean, the carnage was crazy. Did you feel the kick? Did you see how much that thing kicked?
Tell that to my hand.
That thing like jumped.
You know, right now, according to my estimates, you've got a $10,000 bill right here. I'll make you proud.
All right, thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The blunderbuss worked great. And I gotta tell you, I hate to be on the receiving end of that thing. I have no problem guaranteeing $10,000 at auction.
Hey, friend, what do you bring in today?
One sorry drunken mistake.
Do what now?
I got to drinking and shopping online, and a few days after I woke up, this arrived.
Whiskey and the internet is not a good combination.
I agree. I brought my model 1907 Winchester down to the tent today. I don't even buy old guns. I don't know what I was thinking. I just want to get rid of it.
It don't really look like a mistake to me. This looks like a pretty fine firearm.
It's a $1,200 mistake.
You don't see these too often. Jim.
Yeah.
Come here a minute, buddy. Let me present you with a fine little bush rifle.
Model 1907 Winchester. Good. Do you know much about these guns?
No, sir. I collect new guns.
The 1920s and the 1930s, believe it or not, these got to be a pretty popular gun with the gangsters.
Why is that?
Well, first off, it's a nice little short, handy carbine. It's not real lightweight, but check this out. See this little button here? Push that right there and turn this knob. The gun breaks down for easy transport right there.
So they use these right alongside the Tommy guns?
You know, you see all over gangster movies and stuff, they're talking about the Tommy gun and they kind of popularized that, but you'd have seen just about as many of these right here. They're just a neat old gun with a lot of history in them. This rifle here is old enough to have been in World War I. If this thing has the markings on it that it actually was in the war, this gun could be worth up to $5,000.
All right.
But unfortunately, it ain't. I don't see any kind of acceptance stamps from France or Russia.
So how much is it worth?
I'm going to say in the condition it's in right now, probably about 700 max. Now, I'd like to put this in the auction anyway. I know it's not going to help you with your broken heart, and ain't going to help you with your broke wallet, but I think it'll get you enough beer money you can drown what's left of your sorrows.
So you want to put it in our auction?
Yes, sir.
And we get to shoot it too?
Sounds good.
I really appreciate you bringing that thing in for us
Yeah, thanks
today.
for letting me take a look at it.
This is a nice gun with a rich history. If it fires, we can guarantee that boy at least $700. Hopefully he don't put all that money back into more whiskey.
How are you?
Hi.
What do you got for me?
I've got the original bulletproof vest.
I would say so. Now, I have seen cuirasses, and that's what this is. It's the assemblage of the front being the breastplate and the back plate, and the early ones even had leg protection down to the knees. Where did you get this?
This has been a hobby of mine, collecting armor and weaponry. I've always poked around different antique shops, gun shows, junk shops, and I just happened to find this laying in a corner.
No kidding.
I'm wanting to sell this piece because I have one child in college right now and another one going in next year, and I'm using it as part of the fund.
You know, so at first glance, the untrained eye, wow, that's got to be from the medieval era. But not so. This appears to be, you know, from the Franco-Prussian War, from the 1870, 1871. I mean, this was actually still being used in the 1870s, which is really kind of cool. I would certainly want to have one of these just to increase my chances of surviving. I mean, these guys were wearing this stuff against who knows what's coming at them. It was designed not only to repel sword blows, but repel a bullet.
In our travels, we see a lot of reproduction armor, so it's very, very important that we really scrutinize every little aspect of armor that comes into the tent, because there are certain markings that are going to tell us whether this is the real thing or fake.
As the armorer would finish his product, he would shoot it with a musket. And so a lot of them would be encountered before issue with a musket indentation.
This one didn't have the dent in it.
That practice actually kind of disappeared later in armor production. As I'm flipping this around, what I'm looking for are all these markings. Those are, you know, most likely the armorer's marks. You know, the more I look, the more I'm finding this is not some reproduction. This is actually real, and it was there. So now the next question is, what'd you pay for them?
Approximately $200.
A cuirass like this, in this condition, I'm very confident that you'll get at least $1,500 and up for this at auction.
Let's go ahead and do it then.
Thank you so much for bringing it in.
Thank you.
This armor is a fantastic piece of European history. I cannot wait to put it in the auction.
Before the auction, me and Hammers got one more gun to test out, a Winchester model 1907. If this gun fires like it did back in the Prohibition days, we're looking at about $700 at auction. If not, I'm afraid we ain't gonna put it in the auction. Since this is a Prohibition era type gangster weapon, or would have been used at that time, if you look down range yonder, you see I've got us some liquor bottles set up.
And if it doesn't fire, we'll just drink the liquor?
That's what got you here to begin with, wasn't it?
This nice little short carbine right here was the right length for the Prohibition era. It's nice and barrel heavy. You can handle it in short space, and it had plenty of punch. I've actually seen some modifications from the 1920s that had a forward pistol grip mounted on there, sort of like a Thompson grip. And with that forward pistol grip there like that, you could really work that gun.
It's going to want to come up with you if you're shooting it very fast.
I'll tell you what, it's got some punch. You just about dominate anybody in the area with it.
Let's shoot this thing so we can put it in the auction.
We'll go ahead and get her loaded up for you.
I think you're going to be surprised. That's a hot little puppy right there.
I'm excited.
All right, buddy, let her rip anytime you're ready. Ah, crap. All right, keep it pointing down range. We may have a bad round, so let me, I'm not seeing a dent in the primer. These old guns like that, you do snap the firing pin.
How do you know it's not the ammo?
It's not the round.
It's not the round.
There's no punch mark. That means that firing pin ain't going through, and it didn't even put a dimple in it.
So what does this mean for the auction?
In the condition it's in, it's not going in the auction.
But it's still a good firearm. It just needs a little patting on.
Well, I'm a gunsmith. I have a shop. You can ship it to my shop. I'll pull it apart and retip the firing pin for you.
So you want me to spend more?
Afraid so, buddy.
Unfortunately for this man, looks like he's made a $1,200 mistake to me. He might want to consider his own prohibition on drinking before he jumps on the internet to go shopping again.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. It's a beautiful day.
And now is the moment of truth. Auction day.
There ain't but one thing left to do, and that's start the bidding.
Let's get to our first item today. All right, the first item is cuirass armor, which consists of a breastplate and a backplate from the Franco-Prussian War. This armor is so thick, it was capable of stopping bullets. But at over 20 pounds, it wasn't built for comfort. All right, let's have some fun. Who bid $250? You're gonna bid $250, bid on the fine, gonna bid $250 now. I got $250, thank you. Now $500. I got $250, bid on the fine, and $500, now $500. I got $250, bid the fine phone, thank you. Now gonna bid $750 in. How about $1,000?
Keep rolling. Come on.
I got $750, $1,000 on the phone. I got $1,000 pay, gonna bid 11.
This is what I want to see. It's already at 1100.
$1,100 bid at 12. Hey, the longer you wait, the more it costs.
Come on.
Last call, fair warning.
Okay.
1200. Right now, I'm a little nervous. We're only $300 away from hitting the estimate. If we don't hit that estimate, we're not getting paid.
I got 12 of it, now 13 standing, thank you. How about 1,400?
This is exactly what I was hoping for.
14 on the phone. I got $1,400, $1,500, now 1,500. You're all out.
$1,500.
Let's go.
We just hit our estimate, and I hope it just keeps on going.
Asking 1,600. I got $1,600 bids.
No, let's go.
17, thank you. Now 1,800. I got 7 bid at $1,800 now. I got 1,800 now 50. Got about $1,850. I got your answer. $50 more. Last call. Fair warning. Sold for $1,800.
Awesome.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
We got off to a rocky start, but things finally got going, and we made even more than I estimated. I can tell that the room is hot, and I hope it stays that way.
The next item is a Damascus Bowie knife made by Steve Schwarzer. This one-of-a-kind knife has incredible craftsmanship and is a true work of art. Here we go. We'll bid it at $1,000. I've got 1,000. Why not?
Look at that.
Whoever walks out of this auction with this Bowie knife is going to be a lucky man. It's one of the finest Bowie knives I've ever come across.
$2,000. I've got $2,000 being bid at $3,000 bid down $3 grand one. I got $3,000 paying now $3,500 back row. Up and down bid at $4,000 paying $4,000. $3,500 bid at $4,000. Last call, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
$4,000 paying. Why not? I've got 4,000. Got him at 45. Got 45. Asking 4,600. I've got 46, now 47, 48, $100 bid, sir. Don't miss it. 48 on the internet now, 4,900, 48 on 9, I've got 49. You have to bid 5,000, thank you. I've got 5,000. I'm asking $5,100. Don't stop now.
Come on.
51, you got it. Now 52. I've got one, got him at 2, 52, $100 How about you? 51 bid 2, 52, he says no. I said sold. $5,100, you bought it now.
So right on it. Way to go, buddy.
It's amazing. With $5,100 we got out of this. This must be Christmas, and I believe Hammer's looking a lot like Santa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next item is a beautiful late 18th century brass barrel blunderbuss. At over 17 inches in length, this gun proves when it comes to intimidation, size does matter.
The blunderbuss worked great at the range and could have been part of the American Revolution. I'm expecting a big number today. Here we go.
All right. Let's have some fun. Whole bid $2,500. Thank you, sir. You're gonna bid $3,000 bid. $3,000 bid. Bid at $4,000 bid. Now 4 internets in. I've got $4,000 bid. Now 4,500. I bid now 5,000. 5,000.
You're already over cost, okay? You're now in the profit zone.
6,000. I've got 6,000. 6,500. But now she likes it too. $7,000 now. I've got $7,000 bid. Bid at $5,500. But now new bidder $7,500. How about 8,000? 8,000 internets in. I've got 85. I've got $8,500 bill at a dime. $9,000. Last call. I've got 9,000. Now 9,500. I got 95. Got him at 10. 10,000. Thank you.
No way.
Get 10,250.
No way. No way.
$10,500. You're in, sir. I've got 10,005. How about 11,000? $11,500.
We hit our estimate and the bidding is still going on. I love it when this happens.
11,005. 11,500's the money. 11,750.
It's almost at 12,000.
I can't believe it. I can't.
Got him at $12,000. 12,000. Thank you. I've got $12,000 pay. Going once. Last call. Sold for $12,000 right out there.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
That's bidder number 205. $12,000. Thank you all.
Sean really came through, you know. It's over $12,000. I was like, oh my God, I was so nervous for no reason.
It was a great auction in Pearland. All of our items went past our estimates, which means we made a pile of commissions.
You know, I'm still disappointed we didn't get that Winchester up on the auction block. It would have made us a nice chunk of change. Ah, crap.
Unfortunately, that thing was dead as a highway possum.
The Blunderbuss is a great looking gun with an incredible history, and it's worth every penny that it sold for.